Whether you like it or not, here's the situation. The world is facing extreme events that can potentially change the way we live. Fear and uncertainty is on the rise. And while tension remains high among different nations, the markets suffer. But we've seen this happen a few times already, right? If you look back at some of these sudden dips on Bitcoin's price chart, it almost always lines up with some sort of terrible news or extreme world event. For example, go all the way back to November of 2022, the market had already crashed earlier that year, but the price dropped another 25% in the span of a week. And during this time, there was an ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. March 9th, 2023, another big dip in the price chart. The same day, a missile strike from Russia took place. January 12th, 2024, another dip for Bitcoin. And escalating conflicts in the Middle East with the UK and US getting involved. August 5th, 2024. Biggest dip for Bitcoin last year. And again, increasing attacks and violence in the ongoing conflicts. March 11th this year, just 3 months ago, another Bitcoin pullback. Also happened to be on the same day of the biggest drone attack in Moscow since the start of Russia-Ukraine battle. And these are just a few random red candles on the chart. Now, yes, there are many other factors at play here that impact the market. But looking back, it's clear that major world events have a pretty strong influence, and it makes sense. Major negative news is bound to cause fear and panic to spread around the world, which takes attention off of the charts. But while all of this is distracting the masses, a small portion of the population is quietly making moves in the background. Because once things settle, the focus gets shifted back onto the market, which usually leads to a recovery period. And this becomes very clear when you look at how Bitcoin bounced back after each of those pullback moments. This has an even greater impact on the altcoin market because these assets are relatively smaller compared to Bitcoin, which means they're more vulnerable to market changes. So then the big question is, when things settle down again, will we see a big bounce for the altcoin market? And if so, is now a good time to accumulate assets to take advantage of a bounce back? The reality of the crypto market is that things change very fast and a lot of the times can be completely unpredictable. My personal approach to this is to stay focused on projects and coins that I believe have a future. Instead of just going all in at once, I've been accumulating assets slowly over time and averaging out my buying prices. So you might be familiar with the dollar cost averaging strategy, and it's great for gaining exposure to the crypto market while also keeping risk minimized. Of course, this also depends on if you believe in the crypto industry long term. And with all the changes going on and focus being placed on digital assets over the last little while, it's only natural to be bullish. Remember, these pullbacks and downtimes that coincide with world events actually created opportunities for people. This always ended up leading to higher highs, and those that saw the opportunity were rewarded. But let's backtrack here for a second. What opportunities are there in the market right now? Well, so many different narratives have popped up, led the market to new heights, and are now sitting in the back seat. Remember the AI boom and all the hype around RWA tokenization? Well, these are still very promising sectors in crypto. But one that really stands out when we talk about mass adoption of crypto is Depin. This one's all about crypto projects that run their own networks with the help of real participants like you and I, contributing our resources or data to support the network. And for contributing, we get rewarded by the project with their native tokens. Seems way too good to be true, right? Well, it's real. And I'm actually part of several Depin projects that are actively rewarding me for my contributions. Now, to make things clear, this isn't some get-rich-quick scheme or a hack for free, easy money. You still need to do your part as a contributor and actually help the project with real and quality data. There's also usually some initial investment required from you, like purchasing a device from the project. And depending on the project, it may take some time before you actually break even. So there's always a risk factor when getting involved as a new investor. But just like the rest of the altcoin market, these Depin tokens also go through their cycles of ups and downs. And by getting involved in several different projects, it's possible to build out a solid Depin focused portfolio without actually purchasing tokens directly, especially with projects that have a solid use case and mission behind it. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a resource that you can use to access some of the top Depin projects out there. And before we dive in, one quick thing for all of you crypto traders out there. I often get asked about my favorite exchange to use, and the truth is, I don't have one. There are too many hacks and downtimes to just rely on a single platform. Even major platforms like Coinbase have had major outages. That's why I use over 10 exchanges and one of my main go-to platforms is WEEX, which has no KYC or location restrictions. They offer some of the lowest fees on trading, and if you sign up with my link down below, you'll receive a 200 USDT bonus and a chance to earn up to 30,000 USDT in rewards. And if you want to get all of the latest alpha on projects in the crypto space, then check out the FireHustle VIP Discord. I also share my content and portfolio moves in the Discord first before it reaches YouTube and X. So if you're looking for a way to stay ahead of everyone else in this market, then follow the link in the description to learn more about the Discord group. And please remember that none of what I share is financial advice. This is meant to be for educational purposes only. Alright, now hit those like and subscribe buttons and let's get started. So if you do a quick search of Depin projects and tokens on the market right now, you'll quickly realize that there are a ton of them out there. I remember when there was just a short list of Depin projects that you could get involved in just a few years back. This is definitely one sector that has seen a massive amount of growth, and it's surprising given how little the crypto community is talking about it. In fact, the World Economic Forum recently shared their belief that the Depin sector alone would grow to $3.5 trillion within the next 3 years. That's how big the total crypto market cap is right now, including Bitcoin. So they believe Depin alone can become this massive. Now, with so many more projects that popped up in the Depin space over the last few years, it could be difficult to figure out where to begin, especially if you're new to the sector. But one place that you can start your journey is at Depin House. So this is actually a marketplace for purchasing Depin devices, and they're an authorized distributor for some of the top Depin projects that exist today. Depin House was formerly known as Enchantment, and they decided to rebrand the company so that the name fits the sector a little bit better. By choosing to shop with Depin House, you gain access to fast shipping times, early access to new product launches, and even discounts. Their website also offers a bunch of free resources, including beginner guides for new users that want to learn more about Depin and detailed overviews of popular projects. You can think of this as a go-to platform for anyone looking to start or even improve their Depin journey. And as part of the rebranding, Depin House is running a community campaign with prize totaling over $50,000. This includes Depin devices, software nodes, and project tokens from some of the hottest Depin projects right now. And guys, it's super easy and completely free to get involved. All you need to do is visit their campaign on Galaxy and complete simple tasks, like visiting different pages on their website, posting on X, and doing small quizzes. The campaign will remain live until June 9th, so be sure to check it out while it's running. And I'll leave a link to this in the description below. Now, if you're wondering which specific devices are the best ones to purchase, honestly, there are so many different projects out there with different goals and use cases. Which ones you get involved with may depend on how their goals align with your personal needs or interests. So for example, there's a privacy-related project called Anyone Protocol. You can think of this as an internet privacy tool. You know how you can use a VPN to browse the internet anonymously while keeping personal information private? Well, maybe you've used a VPN service yourself before. Well, the truth is, these VPN services don't ensure 100% privacy and anonymity. At the end of the day, these services are still controlled by large centralized companies, and there have been cases of data leaks from several VPN providers. Anyone Protocol provides a better solution using a decentralized version of a VPN. So basically, instead of sending encrypted internet traffic through a centralized point, the Anyone network routes this traffic all over the world through what are called relays. These relays can easily be set up by anyone, and by operating a relay and helping decentralize the network, you can earn native Anyone tokens. One way to easily get started with your own relay is by purchasing this plug-and-play hardware device. And yes, this is available for purchase on Depin House for $450. What's cool is this device contributes to the network as a relay, but can also be set up as a router. And you can connect to this router to browse the internet with full privacy through the Anyone network. I just set mine up as well, and I'll be keeping track of how things go over time, but this is a great example of how everyday users can contribute to a Depin network while also benefiting from their contributions. And this is just one example use case for a Depin project. Another completely different type of Depin that I've talked about before is Aether. So this is a distributed cloud compute network that people can use to share and access GPU computing power. So anyone around the world that wants to do things like gaming, AI work, video rendering, or anything that demands greater computing power can just borrow computing power from others. It's basically like a marketplace for shared computing. Borrowers pay for the service, and contributors earn for sharing their resources. One way to contribute would be to connect unused GPU power from your computer. But another easier way to get involved is to purchase and set up this standalone plug-and-play device that contributes GPU power for you. This is called the Aether Edge device, and it's also available for purchase on Depin for $1,400. Just like with the Anyone Relay device, I'm also running an Aether Edge device myself, and it's accumulating Aether tokens every single day. The setup was super simple and had this up and running in less than 10 minutes. And if you're interested in learning more about my progress with these Depin devices over time, let me know in the comments below. I can also share some update videos to go over my thoughts on each of these. And if you're interested in getting involved yourself, then I'll leave all of the links below to these product pages on Depin. So we can't really ignore the fact that the market is shaky right now. There's global tension, economic uncertainty, and of course, plenty of fear. But if there's one thing history keeps showing us, it's that recovery always follows the chaos. And those who stay focused, those who keep learning and positioning themselves, tend to come out ahead when the dust settles. That's why my strategy right now isn't to chase every pump or panic during the dips. It's to stay locked in on the areas of crypto that show real long-term potential. And for me, one of those areas is the Depin sector. It's not just hype, it's a framework that makes it easier for everyday people to participate in crypto without needing to be technical. Whether it's contributing bandwidth, compute power, or data, Depin creates simple on-ramps that actually reward real-world value. Of course, this doesn't mean Depin is the only narrative worth watching, but it's one that I believe is quietly building something sustainable underneath all of the noise. So while the headlines might be chaotic, I'm sticking to the fundamentals, playing the long game, and keeping a close eye on the projects that are doing things differently. As always, none of what I share is financial advice. If there are projects and tokens that I talk about in my videos, I'm only providing information for educational purposes only. I highly encourage that all of you do your own research so that you can make your own well-informed decisions. This is the crypto market after all, which comes with a certain level of risk that may not be suitable for everyone. Are there any Depin projects that you're in that you think I should take a look at? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe so you can stay up to date with the latest and greatest in crypto. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.